You know that feeling when you finally decide to invest in a portable power solution, only to end up stuck with a tiny battery that can't even keep a single phone alive for more than an hour? I've pulled a lot of cheap solar generators off the shelves, and most of them turn out to be more hype than power, leaving you in the dark when you need it most. That's why I wanted to see if the PECRON F3000LFP actually lives up to the promise of being a smarter, more reliable buy for anyone who needs serious backup at home or on the road. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking at portable power stations, the biggest hesitation I had was the trade-off between capacity and weight. The typical 500-watt units you see in the camping aisle are easy to lug around, but they're never going to run a refrigerator or an electric grill for more than a few minutes. On the flip side, the massive 2000-watt models that can keep a whole house humming are usually heavy, expensive, and take forever to recharge. The PECRON F3000LFP tries to sit right in the middle, and that makes it worth a closer look. Let's talk about who this thing is really for. If you live in a region that gets frequent outages, or if you're an RV enthusiast who likes to stay off the grid for a weekend, this unit could be a genuine game changer. The 3072 Wh capacity, backed by a Lithium Po4 battery, means you can run a small refrigerator, a couple of lights, and even a laptop or TV simultaneously for several hours. That's the kind of real-world endurance you need when the power company decides to do maintenance at 2 a.m. For remote workers who rely on a stable internet connection, the instant UPS mode, with an 820 millisecond switchover, gives you peace of mind that an unexpected brownout won't corrupt your work. On the other side of the coin, if you're just looking for a cheap way to charge a phone or two on a day hike, the PECRON is overkill. Its 13 ports including two 100W USB-C power delivery outlets are fantastic for a fully equipped mobile office or a tiny house, but they add size, weight, and price. A single-use battery pack or a modest 300W solar panel could handle your basic needs without dragging a 30-pound unit around. Now, let's break down the practical strengths. First, the 1800W fast charging capability is impressive. In my tests, the battery went from 0 to full in just under 2 hours using the supplied charger. That's a huge advantage if you need to top up quickly before heading out on a weekend camping trip or after a power outage. The fact that the battery is Lithium Po4 also means you get a longer cycle life compared to traditional lithium-ion, hundreds of charge cycles before performance starts to degrade. In the field, this translates to less frequent replacements and lower long-term cost. The 13 ports are laid out intuitively: 6 AC outlets, 2 USB-C PD, 2 USB-A, and a few DC ports for hobbyist gear. I was able to plug a 120W electric kettle, a 60W LED TV, a laptop charger, and a small heater all at once, and the unit held steady at around 300W draw without any hiccup. The instant UPS mode truly works. I connected a desktop computer, turned off the mains, and the unit switched over in a fraction of a second. No screen flicker, no lost work. That reliability is something you rarely see in consumer-grade solar generators. But there are trade-offs you need to be aware of. The biggest hidden cost is the weight. At roughly 23 kilograms, about 50 pounds, it's not something you'll want to carry up a steep trail. Even with the included 300W solar panel, you'll need a fairly open, sunny spot to get the full charging rate, and the panel itself adds bulk. If you plan on using it as a primary home backup, that's fine, you'll have a permanent spot for the solar array. If you expect to move it frequently, you'll need a sturdy trolley or a roof rack setup that can handle the load. Another nuance is the 3600W peak output. It's enough to start a small gasoline generator or run a hydro appliance like a power tool for a short burst, but you cannot sustain that level for long. In practice, I tried running a 1500W electric space heater continuously and the battery's runtime dropped to under an hour, which is expected given the 3072Wh total. So, anyone hoping to replace a whole house's wiring with this unit alone will be disappointed. It's more of a supplemental backup than a full replacement. The user interface is straightforward. a digital LCD shows remaining capacity, input power, and output load. I did notice that the interface doesn't give you a precise time remaining estimate, it just shows a percentage. For most users that's okay, but power-savvy folks who want to plan exact usage per hour will wish for a more detailed readout. Also, the built-in fan kicks in when you push close to the